All right, you guys, welcome back. This is going to be, if we don't get kicked out, a relatively quick video on Jeff's R32 GTR. You guys may remember Jeff's RB25 swapped S13. We shot, I mean, we drove that car a bunch a couple years ago when you first got it.
It sits in the garage. It's currently, I'm tossing the idea of selling it. I'd preferably like to sell it to the US and not here, so I don't have to see it when it's gone, because it's going to be a little, you know, a little hard. But yeah, it's minor changes and stuff. A lot of like painting and detailing, some cams, and obviously the new 93 fuel. We have some ethanol in it. So it makes, like, on a cool day and some good boost, it makes like 560 at the hubs.
Can we look at your
Absolutely,
GTR?
Man. Yeah,
let's
check this thing. My third one, probably the last one I'll ever own.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know, just with the prices now.
Yes.
I mean, I was grateful and thankful for who I got it off of. He did all the hard work. Motor was built, clutch. It was kind of set up, I think, at one time to drag race a little bit.
Okay.
Because like the ABS unit's been removed, the rear Hikers have been removed. And like my past two GTRs, thankfully I still had those for to be, you know, keep it authentic and original. It's cool to have that, even though like the Hikers is super weird.
Well, and your last one was, it was twins, it was upgraded twins.
Right.
So it's like, there's a little bit more of that authenticity. So yeah, this one is totally different. You had one before, the first one you had, that was before I met you, correct? Was that like
the red one? Yeah.
Okay.
I bought that for $6,000, man. Bone motor.
Don't tell people
that. It was an original red, that darker red color, which is like a beautiful PF. What are the Buddy Clubs? P1, PF, whatever they are. Yeah. Like the original. That thing was just awesome. But yeah, this one, built motor. It's got a big old school Greddy turbo on it, a T88. So it is lazy. It's kind of just what makes the experience of driving these things. It's cool because it's error correct, right? Which is super rad. It's even got old HKS drop-in cams, which are kind of error correct, you know, to a point.
But not the V-cam setup, because I hear a lot about.
I wish
people love doing that too.
Yeah, the V-cam, I mean, it's huge bucks if you got the money.
Well, any of those big Japanese brand, you know, HKS, all those original kind of tuning shops.
100%. Yeah, it's got a big triple disc clutch in it, so it is a little like, you know, clattery, chattery, noisy. Just that's what you get with the big triples. On some manufacturers, I know this one in particular is.
So okay, so built bottom end. I mean, this is pretty conservatively tuned then. I mean, if you got a factory RB26 bottom end can hold, I don't know exactly how much torque. What's your like limiting factor? If somebody was to drive this right now and I want to bump it up 100 horsepower tomorrow, would it just be as simple as like E85 in a tune?
Yeah, I would say fuel.
Adjustments?
Fuel. The new thing now everyone likes to use is trigger systems. This thing still has the original cast on it. Like I have trigger on my 25, and I get where people do like to go the route of the trigger systems. This cast with the old school Haltech Platinum Pro, where you can get in and you can actually filter the scatter of it, kind of, so to speak. You can put a filtering on it. The Platinum Pro and the cast, they work okay together. So that, you know, if you're really going to start pulling high RPMs, you'd want to go to a trigger system and maybe a better ECU, but the ECU does the job, right? Yeah, you know what, it's got a really big drag manifold, exhaust manifold on it, a custom manifold, and a big hot side. I don't remember what the hot side is on this turbo, but it is quite large. So it is, it's kind of lazy, you know, down low, below $5,000, even 5,500, that's kind of when it starts to light up.
So it does have that, like, and a lot of people enjoy this, especially with RBs, the big rush of torque
instantly.
And then, especially if you did go with something like the V-cam, it would potentially take away a little bit of that.
Oh, big time. But yeah, it's kind of fun. That's because the all-wheel drive can take it. It's like a slingshot, right? And I mean, you can adjust. I picked up an old HKS adjustable cam gear for the intake side, and I was swinging it around advanced to see if I could get it to pick up a little sooner, which it didn't do too much. And you don't, you know, with timing and fuel, you can go down that road of like trying to tune it to come in sooner. But regardless, it's good, it's clean, and it, you know, kicks like a mule. So it's fun. And the all-wheel drive, and it's fun because it doesn't spin, it hooks. Right, you just got to be on top of your shifts because your power band is quite short.
So first gear pull isn't really like.
Well, you know, it's really short, as you know. It's like whoa, and then just whack, and you got to make sure you get into the second quick.
Oh, I heard earlier when you pulled up, I was like inside the house, like that one split second of wastegate opening.
Yeah, it's open gate, so it's noisy, but I mean, it it is what it is, right? If you wanted to recircuit, you could to make it a little bit, you know, more stealth mode. But
I flip between the two. I lean more towards like I don't really like open wastegates more often than not.
Yeah.
But if you're going out for a weekend drive, yeah, you want it to be extra rowdy. You know?
Extra rowdy. It kicks the fumes up if you know up into the end the driver's area, and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So what's going on in the rear? Because I saw the you've got a kill switch on here.
My thoughts were the previous owner, he kind of had it set up for drag racing at some point in time. It's not wired. It does have the battery remounted into the trunk.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's all it's all compliant. It's all safety.
Yeah.
It's all.
Ideally, most guys go with like a 265 35 tire on the 18s. This is a little bit of a 235 40, so it's a little stretchier and tighter, but regardless, it still makes for a great handling car.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And if you wanted to go chunkier, it's not so low that I wouldn't see this rubbing.
No, definitely.
And no, like, I mean, I'm sure 10 years ago people were rolling fenders on 32 GTRs, but I feel like they've increased in value so much. You know,
you know, there's been some like repairs in the quarter panels, I think probably over sometime in Japan. It came from Saskatchewan, so there's a couple dents on it. It's mostly original paint, so I think at one time maybe it had some hail damage, right? Or just it was in a garage for years. I don't know the real history behind it, but for the next owner who gets it, like the mechanical things are all done, and it's just if you want to put the time and effort and money into redoing the body, which there isn't a lot of work there.
This is a cool black that I haven't really seen.
Forget the paint code, 732 is it? Oh yeah, look at that, I remember it, 732.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh nice.
Metallic black. I modded and put on those spats.
Yes.
The Type M spats in the rear. It looks like someone, maybe at one time, it's the same all the way down. Yeah. But someone has obviously done body work. You know, I don't have the luxury of the body shops and the paint shops anymore, so. Yeah. But there's nothing to hide, it's all there.
It does look good, and like the paint match you've done here looks.
Yeah, I repainted this spat just because it was like, you know, it was a little dirty, rock chipped. So I did that along with those Type M spats, which I feel like those Type M's, man, a lot of people say they don't fit. They don't fit perfectly, right? These are fiberglass, the cheap Rocket ones, so they weren't as pliable as like the original rubbery kind of ones would be. So it was still a little bit of a struggle to make them fit, but I made them fit decently. Oh yeah. I feel like they look so much better on these cars. There's proof they fit, people. Yeah. A little bit of work, but they fit. And these are fiberglass ones too. So it was like, you know, the rubbery ones, like I said, would be a little bit more pliable. You can even make them fit even better, I bet you. Yeah, but it's like a one-time fit. Nobody wants to try to make a fiberglass fit and then crack. All right, you guys, we're gonna go for a quick rip in the R32 GTR. It does have this black metallic paint, which I don't know if this is exclusive for the 89, but this is an 89, the first year. But yeah, let's go for a rip. Let's see how it does. Let's do it. Yes. Active speaker, what does that mean? Wonder how many, like if it had adjustments in the head unit or something like that. You know what, man, and that's 3 GTRs I yet to find an original radio. I'd love to. They were just so hard to find because it just seemed like that was the thing to do back in Japan, was just get rid of the original radios, you know? Put in like a CD player. Yeah. Remember with this triple disc, like you put the thing right through the firewall, clutch in. Oh yeah. And you remember, always keep on the throttle because once the clutch starts to drag a little, the RPMs will drop. Yeah. And you gotta like just, you know, run her like a 2-stroke, you know? Second time driving this car. The first time I definitely did stall. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Keep on the throttle. Shit, well. You saw that coming too. You really do have to keep your foot right at the firewall and then just constantly. Yeah, I've tried some adjustments and stuff. It just seems like the drag from the triple disc. Yeah. Because there's multiple discs and it drags, and I don't have the closed loop idle control set up just yet. Yeah. I'm getting it dialed open loop, and then I'll add. All right, let's close the windows for a little bit here. Oh wow, yeah, it is immediately hot. Roasty toasty, man. Yep. GTR life. She ain't no Aussie street car with the aircon. Factory
factory transmission?
Yes. I know a guy named Sam out here who's got one. He's like cracking 1,000 wheel now on the street when it builds good boost.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he says his way of keeping the transmission alive is like poor tires, because then he'll actually get wheel spin.
Yes.
Right? So it doesn't put a lot of the load, shock load through the, you know, first and second gear.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Wow, big dip.
Yeah.
I did not see that. No rubbing though.
Nope.
We almost got air.
It's them stretch tires, man. Shout out to HKS for making the best coilovers around.
Yeah.
There was a testament to
No kidding.
to them.
I mean, it felt like we were, the contact patch didn't leave, like we didn't leave the ground, but it was close. Wow. I mean, gearing in this car is still fairly, like, long. In third gear, you can still have, like, you've got a little bit of time to keep going.
100%.
Dang, it sounds good. We can, yeah, let's get some air before we... You're right, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's useless doing a first gear pull, but it is like, oh, you have maybe 1,500, it feels like 1,500, 2,000 RPM.
Power
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I mean, it's fast though, it hauls ass. Very quick. All right, we'll do another second. Oh yeah. Did you notice a big difference between the twins and the cams that car had versus the single with the more hopped up cams? Like, does it pull noticeably harder? Like, say
yeah,
from
like
6
this
to
thing
8?
is like a slingshot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely tame it with a smaller frame turbo and a more, you know, a newer technology turbo, right?
Mm-hmm.
This
Yes.
thing, you could definitely get it to come on probably 5, maybe even 1,000 RPM sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, the twins, like the torque is there at like 3 grand, right? And they're already lighting up.
I mean, you call this car slow.
Nice. Nothing like riding shotgun in your own car. It's different.
Does it feel like more?
No, you don't know when it, I don't know. Just you don't know how much you're pushing the pedal down and
Yeah.
when you're gonna
Yeah.
think into shifting gears. It's different.
Where do you actually, like, where would I hit limiter? Because I pushed it to what, 8?
I'd say around 8. I don't
Okay,
know. Yeah,
okay.
The calibration between the actual engine RPM and the speedometer, there's a little bit of an off there.
Yeah.
But I got it set about 8,200.
Definitely does not drop off.
No, like the setup, like it just wants to keep pulling.
It's easy to drive though.
It is.
This isn't the best road to do pulls on. If you guys aren't familiar with the area, that is the United States and that is Canada.
Stick your arm out.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. There we go. That's rev limiter. Wow. Definitely a good build. It's lazy, but in like a fun way. You know, if it didn't have the open wastegate, it wouldn't be nearly as you'd maybe be like, oh, it's laggy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, I agree.
But with the open wastegate, it's
Adds a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's fast. It's not uncontrollable. But it's still like you have to think about. Okay, I'm at the top of third. Do I go into fourth?
Mm-hmm.
Do I keep going? Right. Well, shit. Thanks, Jeff.
No problem, man.
Thanks for the rip.
Anytime. You're always welcome to drive my cars.
I appreciate it, dude. It's definitely, you know, if you guys haven't watched the videos from years ago, if you want to go back, you can.
We'll get you out in the 240 again soon, so at least you'll have a good comparison of what this was like compared to that. I know that car, obviously it's lighter, it's a little bit more of an animal, it's 2-wheel drive.
Yes, yeah.
Cool to kind of feel a 25 versus a 26, both singles,
Yeah.
similar in build, right? But
like with the new power, like dyno changes or like tuning changes you've done with the 25.
Yeah.
Is it like really noticeably faster than this?
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You'd be like, oh wow. Like you need to make sure, you know, third sometimes can even come out on you once you get into torque. 4500. So
yes.
you get it, you know, you switch gears, you know, 445, and then like when it really starts coming, you might lose a little bit of traction on the one wheel. The back end starts to come outside. You got to let it hook again, and get back into third.
Yeah.
It's kind of an animal.
Yeah. That keeps you awake though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it sure does. Everybody needs a GTR in their life at least once. I'm telling you, man, it's the worst addiction in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it.
Smooth driver though, eh? Like
Yes.
daily this thing. Yeah, imagine this thing at aircon. Oh.
Yeah, no,
man.
that's the last piece. It really is. Well, there you guys go. A lower mileage. Well, definitely now it's tough to find like a good driver, you know, something with good power that's still clean, it's been taken care of. It's at a good power level, and too, it's like, well, you've got so much room. If the next, you know, if whoever had this car, if you had this and wanted to take it, like I said before, another 100 horsepower.
Definitely.
150.
You could turn it back, put twins on it if you wanted more of like the authentic kind of GTR.
Yep.
You could lighten up the severity of it. A little bit of a pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the
There
first
we go.
one. Yeah. It's like, no, we're ready for more. Sweet, guys. Well, there you have it. There's Jeff's GTR.
For sale soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Link in the description.